in those locations. Access to water is not there, even though I heard that the governor was in Goza for like an hour or so, and he promised he was going to give them water, and this like 4 months down the line, and nothing has happened. I'll give you a classical example.
Get that. Who promised to give them water?
The governor of Borno State.
Promised to give water?
Promised to provide water in Goza and Pulka. Until today, there's no water. For me and my team to work in Goza and Pulka, we have to take water from Maiduguri to the field. And the last time, we ran out of water.
Let's quickly get some questions from Lagos before we go on our break.
Well, you're aware of some of the reports that were published about which the president eventually directed the police to look into some abuse in the camps. The ones you visited, what did you notice?
You know, the issue of the sexual abuse in the camp is not new to a lot of us who are in the humanitarian sector. I mean, especially those of us who are also working within the protection sector. And we've had several conversations on this. We've advocated for change in the modus operandi, and you would agree with me that severally, you know, in 1 or 2 or 3 times that I've been here, I've mentioned that even within the minimum humanitarian principles, we're not supposed to operate camps for more than 3 months in the first instance, and an additional 3 months, but we've done it for 3-4 years, and we're still going. Those are the fundamental errors we've done, we've created, and it's giving rise to so many other issues that we can't handle. I'm not going to say who is doing the sexual abuse or who is not doing the sexual abuse, but I can confirm to you that yes, it is true, there are sexual exploitation going on. There's food for sex, there's sex for food, and all whatnot going on in the camp, because you have food shortage. There are a lot of women who are headed households, and because gender initially was not mainstreamed in the food assistance and some other assistance that was going on before now. But right now, we have made it a matter of policy that gender and protection must be mainstream in every humanitarian assistance to the IDPs. What does that simply mean? What it simply means is that you must have proper and adequate, you know...
Beg your pardon, sorry to interrupt you there. We'll continue your thoughts when we come back from this break. Can you join us again? Well, before we went on that break, you were talking about the problem of abuse and what it is that the NGOs and government agencies are doing to address that problem. Is that a solution that all of government agencies as well as NGOs are adopting, or is that just what NGOs are adopting? That's mainstreaming.
Well, at the level of within the protection sector working group, which also warehouses a few other working groups like child protection and gender-based violence or sexual gender-based violence, which protects women specifically. So you also have the government agencies, so headed by the Ministry of Women Affairs at the state level. So they are supposed to be part of that, and they were part of the decision to mainstream gender and protection across all humanitarian activities, most especially within the food assistance. Because what you've noticed is that when you look at the committees that are set up either as a committee to cook the food or the committee to distribute the food at the level of the government side, most times is male dominated. Sometimes you don't even find any woman within them. So how are women able to speak out and say, this is our problem? Who is able to protect the women group, or come out and say, oh, we have XYZ number of women who are headed, heads of households with kids, and they are not being catered for. So these were some of the issues, amongst others, that we discovered, and we said, no, within the minimum standard, gender must be mainstream. And of course, in order to ensure protection, once women are part of the committee, so you talk about food management committee, I'm speaking specifically on food distribution now, or food assistance, you must ensure that it's equal.
But when you now hear that, in some instances, security agencies are involved in this, I mean, it does bring in another dimension to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I would like to wait to see what the outcome of the investigation is, because I don't think it would be proper for me to comment in terms of the security operatives' involvement in that. Yes, we have a lot of security operatives who are within the camps, supporting and assisting, providing security, and all that. And I don't know. I'll wait to see what the outcome says before we can go further now.
Just as a quick follow-up to that report we saw while we were on break, the federal government saying they're going to ramp up food assistance to IDPs in the Northeast. Are we seeing that already?
I think it's still a plan by government. These are plans. Government always has plans. They started planning from January, and we're in November. We're still planning.
Very, very worrisome. But we have to say thank you so much for coming on Sunrise Daily. We've been speaking to Emmanuel Olisemeka, who is the coordinator, Country Director, Social Welfare Network Initiative. Thank you for coming on Sunrise Daily. I will believe that that's the program today. Thank you to our viewers for watching and for your contributions as well. And Maokwe Ogun, to you gentlemen in Lagos.
Well, thanks, Maokwe, and thank you for watching. I'm Sulaiman Alede.
Well, we'll see you next time. Have a good one.